All aboard! All aboard! Ah, well, hello there. So, you're getting on this train, huh? You know, I've been conducting this train for a good couple of years now. Been through a lot with her. I remember the "I got nothing up my butt" incident back in 2019. There was also the Florida man who threw a Bible at a police officer. Oh, and don't get me started about the year 2020. Oh, boy. So listen, if you're new here, I gotta read this this piece of paper for you. It's sort of a legal thing, you know. Here we go. Warning. The following show may feature some adult language and adult scenarios that are not suitable for those under the age of 18 to 21 years old. If you are under this age, please consult your parents and or legal guardians for permission to listen to this show. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Well, with that out of the way, will you still be getting on? Excellent. Well, let me just punch your ticket for you. And welcome to Trademark's Trainwreck.
Mojo.
Good evening, passengers, and welcome to tonight's episode of Trademark's Trainwreck, a show features on Celestia Radio, all fandom, all the time. With me here tonight is Random Greymane.
Woo!
And Sherlock.
Hey there.
We'll also have the fangirl somewhere down the line, I believe, unless circumstances change that. So how are you tonight, boys?
I have to adjust the net settings so we can catch her. Doing fine.
Yeah. Doing okay for the most part. Pretty uneventful, though. I believe Random Greymane has something he would like to talk about.
Well, one, I have had what should be, other than removing the structure in question, should be my final surgery on my currently broken foot. So we're good there. They took a chunk out of the crown of my hip bone to repair my foot. My foot doesn't hurt, but I feel like I've been stabbed in the side. So,
Ray, didn't you say you don't have feeling in your feet?
Yeah, I don't. I have neuropathy in my feet, so they can do anything they want to my feet, and 99% of the time it won't have any, any serious pain or issue. But it hurts now because they took the thing out of the side of my hip to repair my foot, so the hip hurts. So that's neither here nor there. I did listen to the one show when I wasn't here. It was like the eve of my surgery or something. You guys, there was one thing. Oh, Starlink.
Yes.
That's what I was going to talk about. Starlink is actually it's a Muskism, an Elon Muskism. They have put up tiny little satellites that are a high-speed internet mesh. Okay, so they are Elon Musk is busy seeding the skies with these tiny little microsats that provide high-speed internet, both up and down. And that's what that satellite dish was for on the
On that one
hood
car, yeah.
on that one car. It's actually brand new technology. So one, I'm kind of puzzled as to how the guy became a tester for it because it's still beta. Okay. Two, why the why the fuck the hood of the car? Okay. This technology is designed for like people that are like on boats, okay? And they can orient the antenna any way they want and still pick up an internet signal. Okay? It doesn't need to be on the hood of the car. It could be just fine on the freaking trunk of the car. So why would you put this on the hood? Regardless though, it is the way it works is literally it's satellite internet. You have an antenna, which is a transceiver antenna. It does both receiving and transmitting. That goes to literally what could effectively be a cable modem, okay, or a wireless modem. All right, that is attached to that antenna,
Right.
and then from there, it's standard either Wi-Fi or somebody plugs a cable into it and they get internet. It is literally roaming internet like we've never seen before. And while Elon Musk is not our friend, I kind of want this one to succeed.
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah, the second you said, I was like, the second you described what it is, I was like, okay, this is good because this is Star Trek levels of network connection.
Mhm.
And then
Correct.
the second you said, oh, it's Elon Musk's project, I'm like,
Well, that explains it.
Yes.
Also, before you continue, Gray, I want to make 2 points. The fangirl has joined us now.
Yes, I saw that.
I am partaking in the dining cart. I will join you in a moment.
Fair enough. And 2, Gray, never use the phrase, they can do whatever they want to my feet on the internet ever again.
so
You know what?
for those of you,
If you, it's $10 a picture. You want me to? You want me to take a picture of my foot in its thing? It'll be $10 a picture. Fine, I'll start an OnlyFoots account, and we'll just go from there.
Somebody's gonna take you up on that, and I don't want to be associated with that
I
person.
don't want to be held responsible for that.
Back to the Musk. For those of you who are confused about our displeasure, mine in particular comes from the fact that Musk is an idiot. Like he is not Tony Stark. He is that I know that's the image that he is trying to portray.
He
But he's not.
thinks he thinks he's Tony Stark.
He's just a rich idiot. This is all he did. See, he didn't make Tesla. He bought it. He
Correct.
didn't make anything. Like the only thing that he has to his name are maybe 2 patents, and they're improvements on other patents that people under his employ, engineers under his employ, did.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
he has never actually contributed anything to society. He has just bought the stuff that contributes to society.
Mhm.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Okay, because I can't remember whether he started PayPal or he started eBay.
He started PayPal, and then he got
Yeah.
fired.
There we go. So yes, but he did actually start PayPal, which is so hilarious because I still have somewhere printed out on a piece of paper. I'm hoping to run across it. The email that they sent out to all the PayPal people saying PayPal will never be a for pay service. Which is hilarious. Right, which was hilarious. They sent that out and then like, oh, that email that doesn't exist anymore. Oh, well, I'm glad I printed that out.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's
you
not
guys-
called
they're a bank.
PayPal.
Yeah, they take fees when you give digital checks and things like that. They're a fucking bank.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are a bank.
less.
So yeah, the whole concept of Elon Musk like doing all this grand stuff for the betterment of humanity, it's a load of shit. He's an idiot.
Mhm.
He does that. He actually has only done 1 or 2 things brilliance in his life, and that's because even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah.
All the stuff that is contributed to him, the Tesla car, the roof, the solar roof, the generator, all the stuff that will actually go do great things towards, reducing carbon emissions across the United States. He didn't do any of it.
Yep. He
Mhm.
hired
So-
people to do it for him.
Yeah, so this
Yep.
whole mini satellite, covering the Earth and giving access to broadband wireless anywhere on the planet. Yeah, wonderful idea. He didn't do it. One of his engineers probably came up with the concept, and Elon put his name on it.
Probably.
Yeah, pretty much. The only thing that has been a problem with Starlink is that it is visually obscuring visual astronomy. Okay, because they're tiny little points of light, and if you do like a long exposure, they do show up. Okay, and they ruin your astronomy photos.
And one of the other
Um,
things that I'm worried about happening is I don't care if they're tiny or not. Like, we still have to send out spaceships. I mean, Elon wants to go into space along with Bezos and whoever the fuck that first guy was who didn't actually go into space.
Branson. And yes,
Branson,
they
yeah.
both went into space. NASA's limit is 50 miles. NASA has this on paper. They've stated that it's 50 miles. Okay, it's not 100 miles. Okay, so both of those dick beater rocket shooters can go fuck themselves. They're both astronauts, technically. Okay, so fine. Just use your money for something else.
Yeah, but I
No.
mean, these people want to shoot themselves into space as a hobby now, fuckers. But it's kind of like, how are we going to do that if we got all these tiny little satellites in the way?
Yeah, it's gonna turn into fucking Wall-E with all these satellites just orbiting the planet in this massive collection of junk, this massive junk sphere.
Well, space junk has been a problem forever. Okay, since we started launching stuff into space. So we'll either figure out a solution for it, or somebody will fuck it up, and then we'll figure out a solution for it. So
Yeah.
I'm not that worried about it. These microsats are really, really tiny, so even if they fall out, they burn up.
We're talking about like a rocket hitting one, just like
nah.
phew!
What?
We'll have a Challenger. We'll have a Challenger shuttle Challenger 2 incident.
Well, considering we pretty much don't have foam tiles anymore,
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be an issue. But you've got a point, but I don't think with the control and the tracking there's going to be an issue in that regard.
So one of the problem is that I do remember watching on this program is that if something goes wrong, if something out in space, like a bit of radiation, pushes something outside the calculated trajectory of these satellites, it could create this cascading effect of satellites slamming into each other and creating, this very pretty junk, like Trade said, scrap metal sphere around the Earth, and we're kind of stuck then. We're like, well, it's too dangerous to send anything up because we can't calculate all the tiny little bits and pieces.
Yeah, it would be at that point that we would start sending up rockets to like blow holes in that sphere, and have them forcibly deorbit stuff.
Yeah, because that always goes well.
Yeah, that wouldn't go well, but at that point, that would be our only real solution. Would be to
I guarantee you guys, in like 50 to 75 years, when we start making like habitable satellites and bases on other planetary bodies, we're going to have a business empire that's nothing but space junk collectors. They're going to be space trash collectors.
Oh,
in any case,
there's an entire anime.
Go type in. Go to IMDb and type in Salvage 1. I'm not kidding you.
Well, Well, I was actually going to say
it
there's
is-
an entire anime about that subject matter. It's called Planets.
Yes, but the Salvage one came before Planets, and it is Andy Griffith, where
Being a
they
space trash collector.
being a space trash collector, where they launch what is literally like a cement truck into space, and it is horrible. It is absolutely horrible, but whenever somebody says space trash collector, it's the first thing that comes to mind because it was just so far beyond the pale of idiocy. So go check that out. It's I believe the first pilot of it. In fact, I think it was only a pilot. No, it had like 5 episodes. I think the first pilot is actually still on YouTube, available for free or something. So
In either case, it's funny how much reality can reflect fiction. But in either case, I think it's time we move along to the actual show for
Yes.
tonight.
Yes,
When we're not
we have talked about dick-shaped rockets enough.
when we're not bashing Elon Musk and Amazon and their questionable business practices, we talk about the dumb internet news that I have uncovered over the course of a week or so. This week I had to stretch a bit for my news, but I think we got some bangers. We got a sequel from us and a sequel from a show that I really like. So we'll see how that goes. Y'all know the standard setup of this show by now, so I'm gonna spare you this week. We're just gonna move along to the softcore material, but first, a quick musical interlude. So we'll be right back with Trademark's Trainwreck on Celestia Radio. I'll fan them all the time, except when it's dick-shaped rockets and hood-mounted satellite dishes.
My food in my belly.
Welcome back, passengers, to Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestia Radio, all fandom all the time. It's time to start the softcore material for this week, and where better to start than with something that's very reminiscent of The Gift of the Magi. Kind of.
What the hell is myrrh anyway?
Wrong one.
Police say man cop to bizarre theft.
Okay.
Here's the subtitle. Ring stolen from woman used to pay for her engagement ring.
Ah.
There you go.
Well, okay.
My brain hurts a little bit at that.
Mm-hmm.
Little
You
bit of
see?
circular logic there.
Can we get to the story to figure out how this guy
Yeah,
justifies this?
yeah. There's got to be a how here somewhere.
Yeah. This is an older article, happened on July 14th, when a Louisiana man has admitted to stealing and pawning a $4,500 ring owned by his girlfriend and then using the ill-gotten proceeds for a down payment on an engagement ring for the same woman.
Oh my god, dude.
Your wife's a
Dude,
lucky lady, sir.
There's like nothing he could probably buy that's worth more to her than that $4,500 ring.
On top of that, $4,500 is a down payment?
Apparently.
He's probably another De Beers victim.
Yeah.
No.
So
Diamonds are everything. No, they're not. Shut up.
No.
They're not. The thing I hate most about De Beers is how much they peddle this concept of, the purity of diamonds and how much, chemically artificially created diamonds are like crap. I'm like, they're identical, completely identical.
Yeah, the only
Like, there's-
reason that the only reason you can tell the difference is they are required by basically De Beers rendered law that you have to have a serial number stamped in them or etched in them. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead,
getting,
Trey.
getting off of the De Beers train, much as I agree with you, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Justin Pope, 29, who was arrested on July 13th for the theft of a ring that belonged to Samantha Futch, 40. 29-year-old dating a 40-year-old. All right. Pope allegedly stole the ring in mid-2019 from Futch's residence in Downsville, a village about 25 miles from Monroe. According to a probable cause affidavit, Pope confessed to taking a ring that belonged to his then-girlfriend. Pope told investigators that he sold the ring at a local pawn shop, then used the money for a down payment on an engagement ring for her. The stolen ring, cops reported, was valued at $4,499. Ooh, so close. The affidavit does not reveal how Pope was identified as a suspect or why it took 2 years for an arrest. Pope told Awashita Parish Sheriff's Office deputies that he sought to retrieve the ring a month after pawning it, only to learn that it had been melted for scrap. Because yes, that's what happens to rings that are given to pawn shops, you dumbass. The court filing lists separate addresses for Pope and Futch, so it appears the pair is no longer a couple. You think?
You think?
I wonder why.
Pope, who does not have a criminal record, he's free on $500 bond. So...
Well, whatever pawn shop he took that to, they got to give that back.
Well, they can't, because they smelted it, remember?
Oh.
That's what happens to rings that are given to pawn shops. They just smelt it to get the profits, because,
well,
I don't know
the
the
pawn
reason.
shop's is responsible for that value.
Well,
They are. No, it's the straight law. If the pawn shop accepts stolen goods, they're liable for it, whether or not they knew it was stolen or not.
okay.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, that sounds logical.
No, he's right. I had forgotten the ring was technically a stolen item.
Yeah, technically. So I do hope that
And it's kind of on the shop's failure there when they took the ring and then straight up went to take it and see it smelted. A good pawn shop would have called the authorities and say, "Hey, we've got this. Is there a report of this thing being stolen?" And they would have had to wait a while.
I'm actually gonna look up why they melt rings after you give them to them.
It's
Because
just,
there's no value in used jewelry.
Man,
it just honestly boggles my mind. Again, the dude, just couldn't you just be honest with her and just ask her, hey, I really want to get you the thing, but I can't afford the thing, and I wanted it to be romantic and a surprise, but this is the thing you really, really want.
Again, as Shirley and Grace said, you don't technically need to propose with a ring. In fact, you don't really need to propose in a big dramatic way. Like I'm reading a book called The First 10 Years, which features creator of Night Vale, Joseph Fink, and the I forget what she's technically called. She's the voice at the end credits, Meg Bashwinner. They got together in 2014, and it wasn't a big proposal. In fact, she technically proposed to him, which I know in this society where the man has to do it, it's surprising. And there wasn't a ring. She bought her own ring, mostly because, she fell victim to American capitalism, as she pretty much says in the book. But, that's what she wanted to do. So, again, you don't technically need a ring. You don't need to do a big proposal. You just go, I like you, you like me. You want to get married, maybe?
Yeah, and actually,
I mean, hell, as I will, as a for instance, I actually proposed first to my fiance, Codemaster C, with a D20.
Yeah. Which is cute, and it works for you too.
And here's the thing, I know I don't want to get off too much off the rails, so I'll try and make this quick. Small history lesson for you kids. Before the 1930s, engagement rings weren't a thing.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
And the reason they became a thing is because the De Beers Company, which owned all the diamond mines in the world, and hadn't been broken up by the monopoly busts just yet, their sales were falling because like the people who could afford diamonds, because they were coming out of the Great Depression.
Yeah.
And the number of people across the world who could afford diamonds like was dwindling, because the Great Depression didn't just, hit America really bad. It's because America is such an economic powerhouse, it like rippled across the world. So the number of people that were able to afford diamonds dropped. So when the American economy started stabilizing, De Beers pushed this concept of the engagement ring. And I mean, okay, the engagement ring is cute, and it does have like this cultural concept to us now where you can look at somebody's finger and it's like, oh, there's a ring on it, so we can't go after it. But you don't have to do a diamond.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think this particular generation, the millennials and the Gen Z, I don't think anyone's going to fault you unless they're a bitch if you get like a cubic zirconium.
Mm-hmm.
Spend $600 on that. Or if you want to get a little fancier, get an actual like clear sapphire.
Ooh.
Because one, you won't be giving money to the De Beers Corporation, that's for fucking sure. And two, because they're not as requested as much for rings, it'll be significantly cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to spend big money, get an emerald. Okay?
A pure
Good
emerald,
Lord.
not an artificial one.
Right.
Not that proper dark green, clear green. That's completely artificial.
Right.
True emeralds are smoky and slightly off green.
Ooh.
Yep.
But
They look more like a peridot.
Either way, the point is there are better ways to get the engagement ring apart from stealing your girlfriend's ring to purchase a ring. Kind of cyclical, you know?
Yeah,
Just
kind of stupid.
Really fucking stupid.
You're gonna start off your permanent living connection with somebody else with a theft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really karmically good. Yep.
That's a level of trust that your spouse can really get behind.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I really hope that Miss Futch can get reimbursed for all this crap. I really do. I feel so bad for her. Moving on, though, to a more comedic sort of article. I say comedic, it does involve battery, but battery with a strange weapon.
Please say it's a 12-foot rubber dildo.
No.
Or 12-inch rubber dildo, excuse me, 12-inch.
No, it does. Let me just read it out. Couple arrested for mutual pasta battery. Yep.
Okay.
This happened on August 2nd. Police responding to a 1 a.m. domestic disturbance found a Florida couple. Hey, there it is. Here we go. They were, quote, covered in spaghetti, following a physical confrontation that resulted in the pair's arrest on domestic battery charges. How did we get here? Let's find out.
Very good question.
Please.
According to police, Stephanie Llanas, 45, and her boyfriend, Adolfo Rivera, 35, were eating dinner early Friday morning in their Clearwater home when a verbal argument turned violent. So it's always fucking Clearwater. Always Clearwater. During the physical confrontation, police allege Llanas and Rivera each shoved a plate of spaghetti in each other's faces. Like they were fucking whipped cream pies or some shit. When a Clearwater Police Department cop arrived at the residence, the duo was covered in spaghetti upon the officer's arrival. The mutual combat, for which alcohol was a factor, you think, led to Llanas and Rivera each being arrested for domestic battery. They were booked into the county jail and released the following day on their own recognizance. They have each pleaded not guilty to the misdemeanor count. A judge has allowed them to have contact while the case proceeds. Yeah, that won't bite you in the ass. Llanas was arrested in October 2020 for allegedly fucking hell stabbing Rivera in the arm with a knife during a drunken confrontation.
This is not a relationship built on mutual trust and love.
Prosecutors subsequently declined to pursue a felony aggravated case against Llanas, whose rap sheet includes multiple convictions for narcotics possession.
Winner.
Yep.
Nothing says I love you except stabby.
Jesus fucking Christ. Just
nothing says I don't like making this joke because I see this too much in the court system. But again, yeah, nothing says I love you like assault and battery with a deadly weapon.
Or pasta,
Can we
apparently.
reiterate that everyone's fine?
Yeah, everyone's fine, of course. Like the stabbing in question was a older case, and it was only in the arm. How he stayed with her after that is fucking beyond me. But at least this time the weapon in question was fucking pasta.
You will be glad to know that at this moment in time, I cannot think of a way to kill somebody with cooked pasta.
I should certainly hope not.
Not if give him a few.
Give me a little bit, but no, not right now. Though.
Can you imagine being that cop who rolls up on the scene, unless he's a fucking veteran who's been working the beat in Florida for a while? He just comes up to this house, and there are these two grown-ass adults that are covered in pasta as if they're a fucking baby who's learning to eat solid food for the first time, and he's just standing there like, what the fuck have I walked into? Okay, here we go.
You chose to be a police officer. You chose worse to be a police officer in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So, you get what you get.
Again, I'd like to know how we got here, please. Like, I'd like to know what the fucking argument was. Like, what argument was so intense that you needed to fucking splatter your spaghetti on each other's faces?
Yeah, I'm thinking the argument wasn't the issue. So,
what do you think the issue was?
I'm thinking that the issue was just the issue. They just,
they were just being angry for the sake of being angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're one of those couples that just everything the other does pisses them off. They're only still together out of spite.
Probably.
Yeah. If you're still together out of spite, fucking leave. Like, I can't.
No, you don't understand. You don't understand couples like this, Trade.
No, I don't.
They either have this concept of like, oh, it'll get better. They both think it'll get better, or they hate each other so much that they do want to leave, but the idea of like leaving and satisfying the other person, making them like, okay, well, I'll leave, but they'll be happy, and I don't want that. Out of spite, I want to make them miserable.
Either that, or I'm not going to be the first to back down.
Yeah, or I'm not being the first one to back down.
Morons. Like, I don't understand that kind of fucking relationship. I really don't.
Broken relationship, broken people.
I guess.
When it comes down to it.
Speaking of broken people, I've got one last article in the softcore material, and this is the sequel to another show that I teased some time ago. Those of you who forgot from earlier episodes, I have plugged the show Excuse Me, That's Illegal from Leroy Luna. And in one of his episodes, he talked about a serial pooper.
Ah, okay.
I think I've heard about this.
Yes.
What?
Yes, for those who are not aware. Now, I'm not sure if this is the same case. I should have listened to the episode.
Pooper?
Yes. Now, like I was saying, I should have listened to the episode in question regarding the serial pooper, but whether or not this is the same case, there is a serial pooper out there who basically poops on people's lawns while out for a jog. And
yeah, this is the guy I've heard about.
Oh, it's not a guy. It is not a guy, I assure you.
Oh, this is a copycat woman.
In either case, police urge serial pooper to seek professional assistance in Indiana because, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got her. Police have caught an Indianapolis area person known by people across proportional area premises as the Pooper. The aptly dubbed defecator has been dropping feces in Fishers, Indiana, and the person fingered was ferreted out by people discovering droppings on their lawn every few days.
What the hell is with local news stories and having to alliterate everything? For fuck's sake!
I've
Alright.
no idea. I'm just reading this shit. Yes, Fanny?
Just read it, because I have some things to say, but I want to wait till I hear the whole story.
Mm-hmm. Also, because I forgot, this occurred on July 27th, 2021. Continuing with the article, tiny piles of toilet paper and unpleasant pellets of petulant poo have been scattered across 3 or 4 plots and parcels each week this summer, the denizens say. The problem of an unnamed person plopping on neighborhood properties was also persistently present last summer. The alleged miscreant...
This alliteration!
That's a lot of peas.
Bear with me, please. The alleged miscreant's excrement has forced citizens to claim the cleanup chores to capture and cast away the bowel movement messes a believed to be jogger jettisoned for someone else to muck out.
I'm literally going to have a fucking aneurysm if they don't stop.
A plethora of placards demarking the scenes of these dastardly deeds failed to dissuade the defecation for days on end. And they were even featured in local television stations dedicated decimation of the details of the local dumps.
Is this a 60s Batman article?
What the absolute fuck are we reading?
Yeah.
Who was the editor? Who was the writer of this? I need to get their name.
Aaron Keller.
All right, Mr. Keller, I'm coming for your ass.
Yeah, Keller, you were having a little too much fun with this fucking thing. I get it. You were talking about someone taking a dump on people's lawns, but maybe get a little straightforward, please. Local constables say they've now captured the unnamed craven culprit, apparently captured on doorbell camera video, crapping on the commons while out on their daily constitutionals. The offensive and odorous odor will not reportedly result in any criminal ramifications for now, the Fisher Police Department said on Facebook. Both neighbors and the police identified the culprit as a female, but the authorities said that at least one person has been falsely accused in the case, suggesting that they want the smooth moves left for them to handle. Some neighbors who appeared on the local news surmised for the suspect that a treadmill and nearby toilet would have been a better option than being trounced by the entire town on account of one's turds. Authorities have not released the suspect's name.
Alright. We get it. You're out on a run. You're in a neighborhood. You're not going into someone's house just to take a poop while you're doing your run.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to end up like that woman at the Olympics who won the marathon.
Yeah. So you want to take in your groove, and you don't want to take a detour into the business district in order to run into like a gas station or a restaurant or someplace just so you can take your shit before you get home. And you don't want to end your run early just by going back to poop. Poop before you leave. That's a solution number 1. Poop before you leave your house. Solution number 2, maybe invest in an adult diaper so that if you have to poop, you can just do it and then go home. Or, you know what?
Maybe don't jog.
If you're absolutely hurting to poop somewhere, don't do it on someone's goddamn front lawn. Look for some trees, some woods, some place that's private. And that's in a worst case scenario. Or, just kind of admit it. Go up to someone's house, knock on the door, and say openly, make sure to bring your mask with you, of course, but put on your mask and say, "Hi, I'm sorry. I was out on my morning jog, but I need to use the bathroom really bad. Can I please use your bathroom? I promise I'll clean my hands. I won't touch anything in your house, and I'll just go in and be very careful and leave." I mean, people can be reasonable if you just use some courtesy and a little common sense. But no, whoever the fuck this woman is, if it's a woman, what the hell, lady? Fuck, don't act like a wild animal and just shit on someone's lawn.
Yeah, it's 2021.
At least carry around dog poop bags. If you're gonna do,
and if you're doing this for fucking kicks, because you get your jollies from it, One. No one else consented to that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think this was about.
There's
I
my
don't
rant.
think this was about. Oh shit, I need to take a shit and I don't have anywhere to go. Well, I best use the neighbor's lawn. I don't think it was about that.
No, I don't
Nope.
think so either. And also, I wanna note, I googled the pooper, and I realized that the case that Leroy Luna talked about on his show was the Mad Pooper, which was an incident in Colorado Springs, Colorado. But the incident is so fucking bizarrely similar. Like, again, it's a woman that is jogging, takes a dump, and then uses toilet paper. It's the same thing. And the Mad Pooper was a case that happened in 2017. What the fuck is going on? Is this the same woman? Did she move to fucking, where did she possibly move to? Did she move to Indiana so she could do it again? What the fuck is going on?
I'll just say this, okay? If you can use toilet paper after pooping on somebody's lawn, you can use a poop bag, okay?
Yeah.
So not only just clean up after your dog, clean up after your own ass, okay? Because this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it really
I
is.
I think this is. We don't need to belabor this anymore. Can we
move on?
Yeah.
I'm tired of talking about shit.
Shirley coming in with the hot jokes. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be it for the softcore material for tonight. So yeah, strap yourselves in for the hardcore material, folks, because it's gonna be something. But first, another musical interlude. We'll be right back with Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestial Radio, all fandom all the time, except when it's everyone's just shitting on everyone else's lawn. The fuck is going on?
Right.
Welcome back, passengers, to Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestial Radio, all fandom all the time. We are short a fangirl tonight, but that is due to personal reasons, so we will forge ahead. But before I talk about my article, Sherlock has brought it to me that he has a bonus article for us tonight. So, take the helm.
Yes. So we have so there's this. So Trade likes to reference shows that he watches on YouTube and other things like that. So there's this show I like to watch. It's called Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie, and he has a program on his news segment called "I Wish a Karen Would."
Oh Lord!
And this week's article, when I looked it up, a passenger on a flight to Miami was arrested after. And I love how the damn thing says allegedly. It's not alleged. We have video evidence and eyewitnesses after attacking flight attendants and groping the female flight staff.
Oh, God.
22-year-old Maxwell Berry arrested on 3 counts of battery after he got on a flight to southern Miami drunk, got himself even more drunk, and was filmed seeing this man lose his fucking mind because he decided to, not once, but twice, grope the female attendant staff. First, when the first flight attendant brought him his alcohol, he grabbed her butt. Well, according to this, he brushed his hand up against her butt.
Ugh.
She told him, "Do not do that." Second time, he got up from his seat like he was going to the bathroom, but went to the flight attendant's area where they kind of have everything set up and just straight up grabbed this woman's breasts. She said to stop. And then when people started calling him out, and this gentleman who in the link videoed the whole thing started calling him out, he got incredibly belligerent, and the male attendant staff duct-taped him to his seat, where the captain and co-pilot radioed ahead to Miami-Dade International and had the man arrested by South Florida police.
Do you know what my parents are worth?
Yeah.
Ugh.
According to
Oh my
this, the
God.
eyewitnesses, he started to get aggressive and basically attack the male flight attendant. According to the arrest report, allegedly he groped the breasts of two female flight attendants. Oh, excuse me. So it's three. Two female flight attendants' breasts were groped, and the other one had her butt groped. During a flight from Philadelphia to Miami, so he's from Philly. What a shock! On July 31st, passenger made inappropriate physical contact with numerous flight attendants and subsequently physically assaulted another. As a result, the passenger needed to be restrained until the flight landed in Miami and law enforcement arrived. The flight attendants will be, as required by circumstances by the FBA, relieved from flying pending complete investigation of the events. However, I do want to point out, it's not pointed out in this article, the flight attendants, while they are relieved of duty, being put on suspension, they are still being paid.
Correct.
They're not gonna like, just say, well, you guys assaulted a passenger, so until this investigation's over, fuck off. No, they still will get paid.
As long as they're being
They should get a fucking bonus.
They really should.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Considering that four of them were fucking assaulted, three sexually assaulted and one physically assaulted. Oh yeah. Definitely. And here's the thing. Here's the neat thing, folks. When you do this on a plane, do you know who's got the jurisdiction?
Mm-hmm.
The feds.
Yep.
Yeah.
If the plane is in the air, it doesn't matter what state you're over. It's the federal government's responsibility at that point.
Yep.
Wow.
So, good job, buddy.
Good
I
job.
hope your parents are worth as much as you say they are.
I just watched a little snippet of the video, and it still amazes me that there was that much duct tape on a fucking plane to basically strap him down by his chest and his head to basically gag his mouth so that he stops shouting stupid shit like that.
Well, no, here's the thing. It's required now.
Right.
Because,
It's required to have like a fuck ton of duct tape.
Yes,
because
actually it is.
Here's the thing. Because when you're in the air and you have these Karens and these Kens, or Kevins, whatever we're going to call them, losing their minds, and it's becoming more and more frequent with the misinformation about masks and how they're like, masks are an infringement on our rights, so I can take it off. The flight staff seriously says, no, you take that fucking thing off. You're banned from flying. And if you create a disturbance while we're in the air, we have no choice but to restrain you for the safety of the crew and passengers.
Correct. Because he's a potential infection source, among other things.
Not only that, but it's also, God knows what it could do. He could try and bust down the captain's door. Those things are designed to withstand that kind of stuff, but, they're not impervious.
No. Just charges in like, I'm the captain now.
Neither are the side windows. There's a lot of things that can be broken by an idiot like this. And a couple of things here. One,
or the man decides to get up and pull the emergency hatch.
Yeah, there you go. Couple of things from my point of view here, real quick.
All right.
One, okay, your parents being worth $2 million, okay, isn't shit.
It means shit for dick against reality.
It doesn't mean shit for dick against reality, because unless your parents are worth, $2
billion?
$2 billion, okay, your words don't mean shit. And if they were worth $2 billion, you wouldn't be sitting in fucking coach. You'd be in first class.
You'd be on a private jet.
Or you'd be on a private jet, right? Second, okay, as far as I'm concerned, these people should get a bonus, okay, because they had to wrestle this guy, okay, to subdue him, all right, and they had to deal with this shit, and people were assaulted, okay. They better not come out with any sort of wrongdoing, okay, finding in this, because they did everything right as far as I'm concerned, and this shithead earned his duct tape. He earned his duct tape.
One of the things that infuriates me more than anything is stupid rich white kids like this guy thinking that they get to do whatever they want, especially to women. Yep. Female flight attendant staff it's a rough job.
Yep.
And there are great benefits to it. It's pretty good pay, but there's like, if you're a pretty face, if you're like a really pretty flight attendant, you're a target.
Yep.
And it sucks.
Yep. My sister-in-law is a gate agent for United. Okay. And she's seen some shit just on the ground. Okay. And she said, she told me one time she would never do flight attendant. Okay. Because she doesn't understand how they deal with some of the shit on a plane, 30,000 feet up in the fucking air, or 10,000 feet up in the air, fucking air, whatever the flight level is.
The cruising altitude is about 30,000.
Right, about 30,000. So, but the point is she openly told me I would never do that. Okay, I would probably kill somebody if they did some of the shit that I've heard.
And
and
unfortunately, that's the thing. The only thing the flight attendants are allowed to do if a male passenger gropes them inappropriately is to say, "Stop that! Don't touch me." That's all they can do.
Yep.
And then they basically can get the guy's like ID from his seat number, and then ban him. That's the best they can hope for.
Yep.
The only reason this guy is getting arrested is because he physically assaulted staff.
Yep.
Let's hope that justice will prevail in this case.
We'll see. I mean, the man's from Philly. A good lawyer is probably going to try and like turn this into a jurisdictional nightmare.
Maybe. Either way, moving on to our next sequel for tonight. This is a sequel from our show, and I'm actually kind of glad that Fanny ducked out for the night, because this is the case. This is a sequel to the case regarding the incident with Elmo.
Oh, God. Yes, Fanny is better off not being involved in this one.
Mm-hmm. Man asks judge to toss Elmo confessions.
What?
I'll take phrases I didn't expect to read for 500, Alex.
No, LeVar, not Alex.
Yeah, LeVar.
LeVar, not Alex.
I know it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while. I know.
Yeah, we gotta take a little while to get it. But that's why we gotta remind you.
Anyway.
Speaking of reminders, August 4th. A home inspector charged with forcing himself on a Tickle Me Elmo doll wants a judge to quash what police say are verbal and written confessions to the creepy crime, which allegedly occurred in the nursery of a Michigan residence. Before I continue, here's the thing about this particular case. There's also video evidence. Dumbass. Moving on. Lawyers for Kevin Vanluvin, 59. Have asked a...
Vanluvin.
Yeah, I never thought you'd hear that name again, didn't you?
Ba-dum-ba-ba-ba.
Vanluvin.
Vanluvin. No. I mean, it reminds me of Superbad. It's like, your name's McLovin. There's not even a first name. It's just McLovin. I am McLovin.
Anyway,
his lawyers have asked a circuit court judge to suppress their client's statements, which came after cops were summoned to a suburban Detroit home in March. Prosecutors have opposed the defense motion, which contends that Vanluvin was improperly questioned while in police custody. I'm going to take a look at the fucking login here. There's only one page, and it says the people of the state of Michigan by its attorney Karen D. McDonald. Oh, that's ironic. Prosecuting attorney for the County of Oakland respectfully submit this brief in opposition to the defendant's motion to suppress statements. Basically, it's a recap. Why? Oh, they do have more than one page. Okay, it basically summarizes what happened, which I will recap in just a bit. I'm just looking for the relevant information regarding fucking what's going on here. The prosecution may not use statements, whether exculpatory or inculpatory, stemming from the custodial interrogation of a defendant used unless it demonstrates the use of procedural safeguards effective to secure privilege against self-incrimination. Oh, I can feel my brain melting through my ears.
All right. Here, hang on. I got it. Let me translate this. So, I will give you proper definitions here.
Here
exculpatory. Exculpatory by definition means, or exculpatory means to clear from guilt. So exculpatory is basically, it's information you would have found out regardless of whether or not the defendant invoked his right to counsel.
Mm-hmm.
Exculpatory means, it's an etymology. It's a fucking Latin. It's basically anything that is out of or away from the main set of, like, your investigation. Like, if you have an investigation, you're looking for this particular type of evidence, and you find something that is of equal, like guilt, but has nothing to do with your case, that's exculpatory. You can't take that in on this case. You have to, like, set it for something else. Exculpatory evidence is specifically evidence related to the case. So what this defendant is trying to what the defense is trying to argue is that his statement made to the police be stricken because he was improperly questioned. Here's the problem. It's not like TV. You can't just say, I want to talk to my attorney, and shut the fuck up. That is not how it works. You have to basically, if you request counsel and you voluntarily keep talking, everything you say is admissible.
Correct.
They're specifically referring to something called Terry, which is something that spawned from Terry v. Ohio.
Yeah, it's a Terry stop.
Yeah, a policeman who lacks probable cause, but whose observations led him reasonably to suspect that a particular person has committed, is committing, or is about to commit a crime, may detain that person briefly in order to investigate the circumstances that provoke this suspicion.
Well, that entire law hinges on the concept of whether or not the investigating officer has probable cause to detain the person.
Right, and if you remember, he was on video.
He was on video,
Yes.
And probable cause, like, almost anything could be probable cause. I got pulled over once for driving down to Phoenix to go to catch a flight to go visit family, and the officer's like, "Why do you have a Texas plate on your car?" Like, "Because I bought it for my grandmother, and I just never got the plate changed." Like, "Well, you need to get the plate changed." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And I was like, wait, that was your probable cause for pulling me over? He's like, well, for all I know, you could have been a drug runner.
Christ.
Yeah, the point I think here is that because he made some of these confessions on video, okay?
Well, no, it's not that he made confessions on video, it's that he was caught doing the do on video.
Well, right, but the whole point here is that there's non-confession related evidence that was definitely probable cause. So, as far as I'm concerned, this isn't a Terry stop.
This has nothing to do with Terry. I mean, no. especially since, like, didn't the homeowners ask police to go investigate what was going on?
Yeah, the homeowners called.
Let me take a look just to double check so that we get all of our information right. Let's see. A hearing on the suppression motion is scheduled for August 17th. According to court filings, Vanluvin was inspecting the Oxford Township home on behalf of a potential purchaser. The home's owners had let Vanluvin, another inspector, the buyers, and a real estate agent into the property on March 12th. While the inspection was proceeding, the owners and their two small boys left the 3-bedroom house and went to a family member's residence. After 2 hours had passed, homeowner Jada remotely accessed her home security cameras to check on the progress of the inspection. It was then that a nanny cam showed Vanluvin removing a Tickle Me Elmo doll that had been among stuffed animals stored in a small teepee tent in the bedroom of the Dodgson's 2-year-old son. Vanluvin then allegedly, did the do with the Tickle Me Elmo, and, let's see... Dodson then called 911 and met up with police at a residence. There you go. There it is.
That's nothing to do with the Terry stop.
No,
the homeowner said, "I'm looking." The homeowner said, I'm looking at my video camera. Somebody is fucking my son's Tickle Me Elmo. Can you go and stop him?
Yes. And that's pretty much exactly the quote.
So this has nothing to do with a Terry stop. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the quote that Deputy Patrick Jens recalled when he received the 911 call. And after being shown the home surveillance video, Jens questioned Vanluvin, who reportedly, quote, admitted to doing it, and then he apologized and said that he was ashamed. Vanluvin has been charged with aggravated indecent exposure and malicious destruction of personal property, both of which are misdemeanors. He spent more than 5 weeks in the county jail before posting bond. The ranch home where Elmo was allegedly violated was sold a month later after Vanluvin's arrest for $230,000.
Kind of odd little piece of information to put in there, but thanks.
Okay.
Dodson and her family have relocated to Springfield, Missouri.
So, well, here's the thing. So I can guarantee you this is the mentality behind the defense attorneys. Like, this is his strategy. Mm-hmm. He's trying to get this, trying to say his client was improperly questioned. He's trying to say it's reminiscent of a Terry stop, in the bare minimum hopes that if the judge grants that motion, then he can say, well, since that's thrown out, Your Honor, then everything else needs to, because everything else hinges upon this blah, 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 blah. That's how they work. That's how they think.
Yeah, that's not
But this isn't going to work. This falls outside the bounds of a Terry stop. This is completely sculpatory evidence. So I'm sorry, dude. Like, nice try. I would say nice try, but it really wasn't.
You're known as Tickle Me Vanluvin now. Sorry. Next.
Not loving it.
Nope. Alrighty, so this is another weird case involving battery, and it's spawned for the dumbest of reasons. The dumbest of reasons. I actually have a fucking reason for why this battery case happened, and it's fucking stupid.
Raisins?
No. July 27th, 2021, dispute over whether to watch cartoons or Monk results in man's arrest for battery.
Monk? You mean the
TV show
that detective TV show about the guy who's got like severe OCD?
Yeah.
Like to the point of being on the spectrum?
Yes. During a dispute over whether to watch cartoons or the show Monk, a Florida man struck his roommate at an assisted living facility over the head with his cane.
What is with all the old folk in Florida?
I don't know.
Florida, man, but I never hear about old people beating the fuck out of each other in other states.
I think it's because they realize that they wasted their whole lives living here.
I guarantee you some of them moved there after the fact.
There's that too.
It's gotta be something in the water trade. There's something wrong with your state.
Oh, you think? Investigators say that Glenn Hutchinson, 58, struck the 56-year-old disabled victim during a confrontation Sunday evening at the Midway Manor facility in Clearwater because it's always fucking Clearwater.
Oh, good. They're both older than I am.
You're worried about, it's like, wait, who's watching cartoons at a retirement center?
So, both men are residents there. They're residents there due to a variety of physical conditions. While his roommate sought to watch cartoons, Hutchinson preferred to view Monk, the police procedural starring Tony Shalhoub as
Tony Shalhoub
as an obsessive-compulsive sleuth. The pair's argument over the TV turned violent when Hutchinson hit the victim, Edward Vance Davis, on the head with his aluminum cane. Or for all you British people,
aluminium.
Thank
Aluminium,
you.
Yes.
I don't know why my brain just stopped working trying to pronounce that version of the word.
Well, because you're an American and you're in Florida.
Aluminium. Fucking Christ.
Yeah, it's complicated and it sounds intentionally posh when it's not supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, Hutchinson told police that Davis, quote, drove his motorized scooter into his leg, prompting him to swing the cane in self-defense. When the fuck has a motorized scooter ever caused bodily harm?
Hey, you'd be surprised. Those things are
you'd
heavy.
be surprised. They're pretty sturdy. Yes,
They're pretty sturdy, like machines. Like even if they only go like 5 miles an hour at max, like if you still get hit by this thing, you can snap an ankle.
Hmm. Now I just want to see like a fucking like edit of like two old guys on a motorized scooter, but it's heavily edited to do the deja vu meme.
Do not give the internet ideas.
No, I want this
Please.
idea. I want like two old guys on motorized scooters to be racing, and the deja vu meme plays. You know, deja vu. I don't know the fucking words. Davis, who was left with a visible mark due to the cane blow, was not transported to a hospital. Why? Charged with aggravated battery.
He was probably fine.
He's probably fine. Yeah.
I hope so. Charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, Hutchinson was booked into the county jail where he remains behind bars in lieu of a $5,000 bond. A judge has ordered him to have no contact with Davis. You are at an assisted living facility, and you're there for a variety of physical conditions. You have nothing better to do than to argue with someone over what's on the TV? Really?
Okay. Well, dude, old folk homes kind of suck.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
they
I'm
do.
not. I'm not
They really
denying.
do.
I'm not denying that. No, I've been to there to visit some family members, and yeah, they dress it up all nice, but at the same time, it's just like there is an odd air to those places. Like,
Well, here's the problem with quote unquote old folks' homes. Okay, a lot of those old folks, okay, are there because they have one or more failure in being able to take care of themselves. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
but they are otherwise fine in the other areas.
mhm.
Okay, so you may get somebody that has like a little bit of Parkinson's that can't fend for themselves anymore. All right, but their mind is sharp. Okay, and everything else about them is just fine. Okay, so you're gonna get living situations as if you had a dorm, effectively. Okay, you're just gonna have a dorm full of older students, so to speak. So yeah, you're gonna get a cane thwack. You're gonna get scooter bumps. You're gonna get hey, he dumped my pudding. You know,
Yeah, I mean, okay.
There's still people. There's still people. That's
They
my
are,
point.
yeah.
And here's the thing, Gray's right when it comes to like this is just basically a giant dorm, like in more ways than one. Like
Yeah, it really
Yes.
is.
old folk don't stop flirting with each other.
No. No, they don't.
I mean, that's
Nope.
why allegedly there's this system in one of the I forget where, basically old folks home community where they have golf carts with specifically colored loofahs that kind of advertise their preferences, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just
So-
like, you know what? I mean, good on them. Just don't break anything.
Yeah,
And
exactly. So yeah,
I don't
and-
want to, and like most other people involved with their particular proclivities of different age ranges to me, I don't want to know about it.
no. But
Well,
yeah,
and honestly, I'm very happy to see things like that because there used to be such a stigma against it.
Yeah.
Okay. It was horrible because it was like we can't possibly have them, even dating. They can't even date, because that might lead to kissing or something. And
Yeah, piss off.
meanwhile, the old folks that can get it up are doing it in like the laundry room. Okay. Just like they did in college because the caretakers have the same blind spots, so to speak.
Yeah.
And
Reminds
you
me-
know, and now it's like, well, we know they're going to try and do it. It's not like they're going to
Yeah.
get pregnant. It's not like they're going to get an STD. So,
And if they
the
do, I
point-
mean, they're septuagenarians, so
The point is,
Right,
though,
exactly.
these are, no matter what's going on, both physically and mentally, these are still people, and they're still gonna do that, and they're also gonna do shit like we just saw with, Mr. Monk over here.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, sometimes you push people enough and they just like, you know what, fuck you, I'm gonna smack you upside the head.
But at the same time,
there are more fights in old folks' home than people realize. There really are. And
I can imagine.
this is just normal fare for anybody who's done work in old folks' homes, and God has blessed these people who do work in old folks' homes, because it is some of the worst environment to do caregiving. It really is. So
it really is, depending on who they have to care for, with depending on what these people are afflicted with, especially mentally. And even so, to die on this particular hill of I want to watch Monk, not your cartoons. Blam! You really want to die on this hill?
And another big thing actually is to not underestimate these people. Like my grandmother, she's got a television, but she also has a computer, and she's learned the wonders and joys of Netflix and Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, like there's all
especially when her great grandkids can finally come and visit her now, and she's like, and they're just like, Granny, let's put on Moana, and she's like, that sounds like a great idea, and she just goes up and like taps it up.
It always makes me happy when I remember that there are people in those homes that have like video games. Like there was this one particular news article that I'll never forget, where a woman plays these I forget what they're called, brain teaser games or whatever, on the Nintendo DS, and she
Brain Age.
Yeah, and she loved it. She loved that those games can stimulate her. So these people cannot be underestimated. They can learn, they can fuck, and they can fight.
And actually, here's something else that a lot of people, that there should be studies being done on this. There's actually like, there's not clinical proof, but there is a lot of evidence that shows that playing video games for extended periods of time, like throughout your years, will stave off some of the effects of Alzheimer's.
Correct. Yes.
Because video games require your mind to be firing on all cylinders.
Mm-hmm. So to wrap up this article, first and foremost, people who are living with your older relatives, keep an eye on them and appreciate them. For all those who are working in the old folks' home, as we unfortunately call it, we applaud you and we appreciate the work you do, even though it really feels like a thankless job. And to all the people who are living in the homes, regardless of the situation, you are appreciated. Please don't get up to some bullshit that's gonna hurt someone else, please.
Yeah, I mean, I know your temper is just as much as you were when you were a kid, but the people you're around the people are around, you're not as sturdy as you used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yep. Absolutely.
So to end the night on a more comedic note, I have something that feels like it's straight out of fucking Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Like, this is some weird fucking shit here. Okay. Let's play Mad Libs, everybody. Cross-dressing man steals school bus, plows front end loader through wife's home.
Okay.
How did he... Okay, so he stole a school bus. Where did he get the front end loader?
Let's find out. This happened July 29th, 2021. A Washington State man in a bright yellow dress went on a spree even wilder than his attire over the weekend, stealing a school bus and then driving a front-end loader through the house of his estranged wife. Andrew Loudon had only just been discharged from a psychiatric facility Saturday morning, where he apparently set out to show his release might not have been the smartest idea. The 39-year-old began by allegedly stealing a school bus at 7:40 p.m. that evening and refusing to pull over, so says Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett. When Loudon allegedly ran a red light, sheriff's deputies had to give up their pursuit due to new state police reform laws which allow authorities to chase a vehicle when there is a probable cause for a violent offense or other crimes. That seems a bit superfluous in regards to following a bus through a red light.
I think somebody mistyped that statement.
Yeah, somebody mistyped that.
Yeah,
Basically, it means like, okay, if he's not a major threat to the community, let him just run himself out.
I guess.
I mean, okay, it said it wasn't a high-speed pursuit. He just was refusing to pull over.
That's true.
So what the idea is tag the bus, follow a distance, and catch him later.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So moving on, Douglas County deputies picked up the pursuit and followed Loudon for around 10 minutes, but were also forced to stop thanks to the new rules. Man, these new rules suck.
They're actually probably a lot better overall than in this instance.
Right, because high-speed chases cause their own set of problems.
Yeah,
This is true.
There's a lot of collateral damage to high-speed chases.
Yeah, this is true.
Especially with a bus.
Yeah, I've seen all kinds of videos that really prove that. After Loudon got away, he abandoned the school bus near Moses Lake and apparently thumbed a ride to Spokane, and then on to Shawela, where his wife lives. The suspect's wife had fled the home when she learned her estranged husband may be nearby. That's a quote from the sheriff of the county. Loudon then...
I can imagine how that call went. Sheriff's, it's like, hello? Yeah, Sheriff's Department. Is this such and such? Yeah, well, we have some news for you, ma'am. Your ex-husband's been let out of the mental ward, and he might be in the area.
I'm out of here.
It's like, click.
Yes.
Kids! Get your pile out! Get your duck out bags!
Loudon then stole a front-end loader and drove it into his wife's now empty house, completely wrecking the property and flipping a car over in the driveway, which I have photos of. Look at this. Look at this.
Dang, that's a lot of...
Nice.
Yeah, for those who don't see it, he basically plowed through what I assumed to be the garage where the car was parked in front of, and the car is flipped in a manner where it is basically resting against the remains of the garage, front side and pointing down.
It's just basically ass up in the air.
Yeah, just like...
Pretty much, yeah.
Just like, help. The man was finally
arrested. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Looks like it looks for all the world like a Hot Wheels car.
It really does, really.
Yeah.
So he was finally arrested on the property by Shawela police, as we can see again by the photo. And yeah, he's in a dress, a yellow dress.
I don't know what the article's saying about as outrageous as his dress. That dress isn't outrageous. It looks like a summer dress.
Yeah, it really does. It's like a flowery summer dress.
You know what? I grew up watching MASH. Okay, so this is one of Klinger's weekend outfits.
Yeah, this is one of Klinger's fucking scams to get the fuck out of the military.
Yeah, it's one of his casual dresses.
Yeah.
My big question always was when I watched that was where did Klinger keep getting all that clothing? They're in the middle. They're in the middle. He probably got it.
No. He probably got it delivered from the locals because they were known to like visit the bar and to get visitors and deliveries.
Actually, that was Korea, not Vietnam, and
Korea,
he was. You've got to remember, he was the trade person for the site.
Yeah.
Okay. After Radar left.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, that was
Klinger was the procurement officer. So Klinger got a ton of crap, brought in and out. That's how he got the job because he was very good at that.
Yeah, his scam probably hit new levels as soon as poor Radar left. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, to wrap up this article, explaining the rules which prevented Loudon's earlier capture. Thank you. The sheriff's office said that only a driver deemed to pose an imminent threat may be pursued by a supervisor. May be pursued, and a supervisor must give authorization. Okay, there you go. That explains it.
Loudon. Yeah, so he was driving the bus at a slow pace, and he wasn't actually speeding. He was just refusing to pull over. So they were like, let him drive it out. Now, however, when he stole the front end loader and caused property damage, he's like, all right, that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. And he is being held on charges including theft of a motor vehicle and malicious mischief. I'm just thankful that they called up the ex-wife and she got the fuck out. I hope that she is being reimbursed somehow for this shit.
You know,
Homeowners-
in
Go
all
ahead.
fairness, I have to give extra kudos to the county for calling her. Okay, because this
Yes.
is something that regularly does not happen, especially
the county actually is in no obligation to call
right,
the spouse of somebody
especially with abuse.
Mhm.
Abuse situations, okay, and they don't call if the abuser is released, and they should. Okay, so the county gets extra points for that from me.
Now, they are supposed to call if the person abused is the named victim in a case, because I actually got a call today because I was listed as the named victim in an incident that happened at the courthouse, which is really stupid. I was like, I was doing my job, but okay, whatever. They're like, oh, we released him today. I was like, all right, thank you.
Mhm.
So it is standard practice to inform the victim of a person's release, but
Not everywhere, and that's the problem. It's not consistent.
yeah, it's not consistent.
It's gotten better. It's gotten a lot better, but it's not consistent from place to place, and it should be.
The thing is here, like, yeah, it good on them for that. It is very nice. And as far as like damage to the house, more than likely homeowners insurance will cover it.
I certainly hope so.
I would certainly hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, as well as the fucking car, because, like, fucking hell. Like, it's probably
let's
not
hope they've got-
damage beyond a few dinks, but at the same time, it's just like, fuck.
I don't know. It might have some like serious. Like, here's the problem I have with modern cars: they fold like fucking paper, except around the A pillars and the B pillars that protect the.
Oh yeah,
individuals inside.
it's got
Right.
roof damage. It's got roof and quarter panel damage almost certainly.
Yeah.
Okay, because it took on when it fell over like that. I'm betting money it took on a collapse. Okay, if you were to turn the key on, it would probably pop the airbags.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
we're looking at some major body work. Okay, to recover that.
Again, I hope that this poor woman who had to go through this is reimbursed for her home, her car, and all that. I hope insurance covers the fuck out of this, because if it doesn't, that's bullshit.
Now, my question is, front-end loaders and a lot of construction equipments do still require a key.
Yeah.
So how the hell how the hell did he get a front loader? And who left the key in it? Okay.
It's like fucking Terminator 2, where people just fucking leave the key behind in the sun blinder or some sort of compartment. And it's so common that fucking John Connor teaches the Terminator, hey, we don't need to fucking break into the car and just hotwire it, because people are fucking idiots. I think that's going to be it for this episode of the Trainwreck. Thanks everybody for listening to our show tonight. Oh man,
it was stupid.
It was stupid.
Yeah, given the damage on that house, though, she's probably looking at a complete raise.
I certainly hope so.
Because because he did damage to the roof on the one side and the carport and all the other stuff on the other side. Repairing that house would probably be more than building a new one. Mm-hmm. So very likely she's looking at, rescuing anything she had in it and getting it rebuilt. So
in either case.
But yes.
Yeah, in either case. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, our lovely banner art was created by the equally lovely Court Awesome, and our theme song was created by Marivex. You can find their social media, our social media, and all the links to all the articles we discuss in the description below. With me here tonight has been Grey Mane.
Uba Fuba.
And Sherlock.
Have a good night, folks. See you next week.
We also had TheFangirl with us tonight. And my name is Trademark. And good night.
And good Oreos.